Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Star-Lord. And this guy, I mean, the whole wave is starting to show up. Like, I think that I saw a box that said, like on, I think MCU Collector's Story, that was like April 10th is their street date. But I feel like April 1st makes more sense. I don't know. It might depend on different stores, but who knows. But anyway, this came from Amazon, and it got here, so much earlier. And tomorrow, it says for me, of when I'm recording this, I'm supposed to get Mantis and Adam Warlock, but it still says for everybody else May 3rd. So who knows when I'm going to get those. But as I get them, I will be reviewing them. And starting off, I mean, who better to start off with than the leader of the team, of course. So without further ado, let's get into what Peter comes with. So as you can see right now, on him currently, he has his blasters, and this is all he comes with. He doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece. He's the 2 per case guy. He doesn't come with any alternate hands. He just has his blasters, which these are new, by the way. I'm not sure what the whole, story is of this, because we obviously have not seen the movie yet, or if they're even going to address it. But these are his new blasters, and I like these. These are very nice. They're very sleek, very streamlined. I like the gunmetal on the black. I think it looks very good. They fit in his hands a lot nicer than the old ones. Like, if I bring in the old gun real quick, you can see just how big that is. And if you wanted to, if you like those better, you could probably get these in the hand. Let's see, I just might have to bend the plastic a little bit. Yeah, there we go. See, those also look very nice in the hand, I think. So if you wanted to go with that, you could absolutely do that if you're not really digging these. But I like how comic accurate this figure is. This is so awesome. And then one thing that I know a lot of people are going to be very excited about, if this would focus, there we go. One thing a lot of people are going to be excited about is the concept of switching heads on this figure to make him even more comic accurate, and you know exactly where I'm going with this. His heads across all the Star-Lords, at the very least, I think, of all the ones I have, because most of them have been reuse of each other, but you can pop the head off, and it is on a dumbbell, by the way. Or not a dumbbell, it's on the standard hinge. And as a result, you can put on the helmeted head to make the most comic accurate look for Star-Lord that you can, MCU-wise. And let's put his gun back in his hand before I show you guys that, so you guys can see it all put together and nice and neat real quick for a nice little reveal. And ba-boom, there you go. I wish he did come with the head. I think that would have been cool, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't use it in the movie, but I think he should, because look at this. This is so comic accurate, and it's so beautiful. And this honestly may be how it is on my shelf. I don't know, though, because, I mean, if you look at this Chris Pratt head, this is like a very, very nice Chris Pratt head. This looks good. It looks really nice. It looks like he could just jump right out at you and go, "It's-a me, Mario," so. But it looks really good. I really love this. This is just, having this head sculpt on here takes this figure from, like, it's cool and I'm glad to have it, to oh, I'm really glad to have this and I want to take so many photos with this figure. You know what I mean? This just looks good. And I really like that the gunmetals and the reds and the gold, even from his logo to the parts on his mask, they all match too. Like, it actually looks like this head belongs with it, which is such a cool touch. I know that obviously wasn't their intention. Who knows? It could have been their intention, but I doubt it. It looks so good like this, and I almost don't want to take it off, but I have to for the sake of the rest of the review. And now getting on to the detail of the figure, I really like this figure. He is mostly, well, he's not mostly reused. His hands, actually, are his hands reused? I think his hands may be reused to somebody else, especially because of the fact that he doesn't have up and down hinges, which is kind of annoying, but I'm also not too upset about it because with the fact that it is back and forth. If it was just how his hands are naturally, the guns would stick out like this. So I do like that we're able to do this. Plus, these are a little smaller, so it kind of, ideally, it would be nice to have him have the up and down hinges, but it's not a deal breaker for me personally. I do like the fingerless gloves look. They look good. I like the black belt, gloves, and boots. I think they all look good. And speaking of the boots, his arms and his legs are entirely reuse from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Wave 1 Star-Lord. Actually, that's not true. The only thing that is changed from those are his hips, because they don't have the little pegs for his guns. Or blasters, or whatever you want to call them. But this looks good. And you actually can switch the heads, so if you guys do want to see that, I will do that real quick. And I don't think this one looks good, but I do like the way that this one looks. This looks so nice. And I mean, it just almost seems like it's fate, right? Like, it feels like it just has to be, because if you're going to have that unmasked head on there, he needs another head for this body. And this this is just, it's staying like this. I'm dead serious. This is, on my shelf, it's going to be like this because this is just so cool. Like, this is perfect for what it needs to be here. And then, like, this takes this figure from really good to perfect with this head sculpt. And then same with this figure. This figure was really good. It's a match made in heaven, to be honest with you. And then back to the detail. I do like the reds that they put on here. The silvers, they actually painted the silvers. The gold for their logo is really nice. The gunmetal, like I said, everything just kind of matches throughout the figure. One thing that I have noticed is that you do have to be careful with the shoulders because the paint is actually starting to chip a little bit right here as I moved the shoulder. And then one thing I also did, as soon as I got him out of the package, I started to turn his biceps and it felt like the pegs were just going to tear. So I did heat up and pop off the arms at the biceps and I trimmed down just ever so slightly around the peg so it would fit in here now. Because if I turn it, there's a little resistance, but not nearly. Because it was like to the point where you just pretty much were trying to force it. And I knew that it was going to break and I just didn't feel like trying to break that, you know? But I really can't get over how cool these suits look. These look so cool in live action. I really like it. And they translated so well to figure form. And I'm really excited to have the whole team together on the shelf. I think they're all going to look really cool. Because as time goes on, I've realized that much like Robo, I am a sucker for a whole uniform team. Because I just saw a post that somebody made on Instagram about the whole, like, training. I think they're training uniforms, right? For the X-Men. The whole, like, both 3-packs and then the Wolverine all together. I was like, I don't need it, I don't need it, I don't need it, I don't need it, I don't need it. And now onto the articulation. His head can go up. You gotta be careful with the collar back there, but it also is tight on mine, so his head can go up all the way, which is really good. Could go down all the way as well, which is good. A little bit of tilt, rotation. Shoulders are a little tight and they will start to rub, but they can go out about that far. Not bad, but could be better, obviously. No butterfly joints, but can rotate all the way around. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go up all the way. Hands, like I already said, they go back and forth for the hinges. They aren't up and down, unfortunately, but it's not too big of a deal, like I said, because the guns aren't that big, so you can kind of get away with it. Torso goes that far forward, really good. Back, decent. It does create like a little angle right here, but it's nothing too terrible. Waist swivel, legs go out that far. Could be better, but it is Star-Lord. It's not that bad. That far forward and that far back, pretty good. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees that go that far back. He has boot swivel. And then his feet go back that far, up that far, and of course, ankle pivot. And since, obviously, I didn't even point it out, but since these are reuse arms and legs, they are not pinless. But that's not a deal breaker for me personally, because I really do like these arms and legs. I think they're very good for that old body, and I think they translate well into this one as well. And they also, with the fact they're a different color and all that, I think they, whenever I had them together, you didn't necessarily go, oh, that's clearly reuse. You know, it doesn't really necessarily look like that. And plus, it's still the Ravagers, so it would make sense that some of their outfits would carry over. And now onto some size comparisons. For his fellow Guardians from earlier waves, here he is next to the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Drax and Nebula with the Endgame head. And these don't look bad. I think that it is jarring to look at them like this because they're not all in the same uniform. But height-wise, I think it's pretty good because Batista's bigger than Star-Lord and Star-Lord's bigger than Nebula. I think it works. I love that I just called him Batista instead of Drax. And then here he is next to the Volume 2 Gamora and Rocket, and I think these look good as well. Obviously, Rocket's kind of teetering on his tail a little bit, because otherwise he's going to be top-heavy. Because of this big-ass gun that he's got. There you go. That's a lot better. I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get a Gamora with this new wave. I'm hoping that we will get her in the future. And then, as always, here he is next to the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man and the 20th Anniversary Cap. And these look really good as well. I mean, you probably wouldn't be able to, but we are getting this figure in comic book form from Walmart, so, 1% of the population will be able to get that, so that's, if even 1%. So yeah, but if you needed to, you could probably use this as a stand-in, like if you had these two at the forefront, so then he was kind of blurry in the background, you could do it. Overall, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I think that, obviously, for like a lot of people that don't have the original Star-Lord figures, it would be kind of nice if they would have had it come with the helmet. That would have been really good, but I understand that, at least I don't think in the trailers we've seen him use the helmet, so he may not even have it in the movie. But in terms of comic accuracy, it's really cool to have that look for him. And just this whole figure looks very nice. All the detail on him looks really solid, and his articulation's not bad either. Like, you can get him in some pretty good poses, I think. The blues pop. I think the blues look really good. I love that we've been getting the comic accurate suits lately. I love that. I think that's such a cool thing that they've decided to do. Like, we've always gotten, you know, relatively comic accurate suits, but like, they have been really just knocking it out of the park, and I'm very happy with it. It's really cool to have them on the shelf. But you can get them into, I mean, it would have been nice, like I said, to have the up and down hinge for this, but it's not a deal breaker, of course, by any means. But here's like just a quick kind of him flying through the air and shooting stuff sort of pose. Or he's a solid figure, and I can't wait to get the rest of the wave. I think that they're going to look very nice together, and I'm very excited for the movie as well. So, yeah. Oh, I should compare it. I don't even know why I didn't. That's so dumb of me. Before we go, there. Just to get that size comparison in real quick. So, yep, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.